Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, the movie over here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today's movie review is on Stephen King's Cell, or just Cell, just not Stephen King part. Now, I am a big fan of Stephen King's work. He is my favorite author. He's made such great stories, and most importantly, I like his movie adaptations so much. The Shining and The Shawshank Redemption, which are two of my all-time favorite movies, as well as Pet Sematary, which I think is one of his most underrated movies of all time, as well as Cujo, which is also a really underrated movie, and Christine and The Mist. 1408 I thought was good, but could have been a little bit better. I love his work, and I love his adaptations, and the miniseries It. I really enjoyed that. So I haven't really heard of this film, but when I've heard it was a Stephen King based movie, I might as well give it a shot. Now, anyways, into the story. It's based off the best selling novel, which is Brought to Life in this thriller, which stars John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson. And at the bottom of Boston, or at Boston Airport, Clay, who's played by John Cusack, witnesses a scene of chaotic mayhem when an electronic signal turns hundreds of cell phone users into rabid killers. Desperate to find his estranged wife and son, Clay teams with a train driver, which is played by Samuel Jackson, to battle a horde of murderous phoners as the city descends into apocalypse madness. And that is basically the plot of the film. Now, going into this, let me start by saying, let me just get into what I think of the actors. I think John Cusack is a really well done actor, or does a lot of great work, and Samuel L. Jackson is definitely my favorite African American actor of all time. I love his movies. My favorite movie of his is obviously Pulp Fiction, Guilty. But anyways, going into this film, let me start by saying, who saw this film? Well, probably not a lot of people, because it wasn't even in a lot of theaters. It was only like in a couple theaters. It was mostly just on Amazon Prime. Now, I watched this movie for free with my dad, and pretty much. Let me start by saying, what the fuck were they thinking? Alright, that was a little bit too far, but this movie was. it, it was. I don't know what to say, but this movie was just hilarious. This movie tries to be this horror movie, but when they actually turn into zombies, they go like, like, what would they, like, they go onto their cell phones. I mean, it's called Cell, and the Cell stands for cell phone. I thought it was like inside the cell or something. I didn't even see a trailer to this movie. But no, it just involves just people have cell phones that turn them into zombies. Yeah, and the phone's not even connected to them. Alright? It doesn't even make any sense at all. I don't understand, what was that supposed to do? Was I supposed to be scared? Is this a horror comedy movie? Because it's it's probably the funniest horror movie I've seen since the Wicker Man remake. Or the yeah, I know you would have said like, "Oh, Shaun of the Dead" or Zombieland. Those are actually, I mean, the most laugh. Okay, how about this? The most laughably bad horror movie. Because really, horror is my favorite genre. Look, all this back here is horror movies. I separated them from the non-horror movie section because I'm a big horror guy. All right. In fact, my number one favorite movie is a horror movie, Silence of the Lambs, which isn't really much horror. It's more thriller, but it's in the horror genre somewhere. So yeah, I would technically say that's my favorite horror movie. But this film, now, this film didn't even feel like a horror movie. At the beginning of the movie, I felt like, what was going on? When the zombie attacks came, out of nowhere. I was all like, what is this movie going on about? I did not understand a single thing that was going on to this movie. It tries to tell this story about. That's the thing, I don't know, because the movie was hilarious. In its R rating, it says it has terror, but here's the thing, it wasn't scary. Let me be more serious than this. It wasn't scary. That's the thing about this movie. I was not scared a single bit. I mean, really, just like Leprechaun and Alone in the Dark, those two movies weren't scary at all. If you want to have a good horror film, you have to have scary moments, alright? It has to be, this is supposed to be more of a thriller. But no, it's a zombie movie, and I gotta say, this is probably the worst zombie movie I've ever seen. Now, guys, I've seen bad movies this year. I've seen so many bad movies. The Brothers Grimsby, The Darkness, 50 Shades of Black, Norm of the North, Ice Age Collision Course. But guys, this movie is worse than all those movies. I'm serious, guys. This is probably gonna make my number one spot for worst movie of the year, because this movie was just awful. I mean, really, they don't even look like zombies. So why should I be scared of people that are just going like when it doesn't even look like they're scary at all? No, this movie just, it's a comedy movie, because I did not have any thrills with this movie. Like, really, Samuel Jackson, you are awesome, but did you have to be in this film? I think he's gonna be in that new Kong movie. I'm not sure. I know I saw a trailer with my dad when I went to go see Event Horizon. No, not Event Horizon. Deepwater Horizon. Excuse me, if I'm thinking of another movie. But yeah, when I went to go see Deepwater Horizon, I really hope his performance is a lot better in that movie than this. Because, really, the acting isn't laughably bad, but I gotta say, it's really atrocious. Like, really, like, what were these actors doing in this movie? I just want to know. I mean, this movie doesn't have anything to it. It's just a generic horror movie. It did not thrill me. I wasn't in suspense. I cannot believe Stephen King even wrote this movie. I cannot. This is probably one of the worst book to film adaptations I have ever seen. I'm sorry. Stephen King, you are my all-time favorite writer, but I am sorry. This adaptation is just awful. And I know, and you hate your adaptations, which I'm not sure if he hates this film or if he likes it, but really, it's not his fault. It's not the actor's fault. It's the director, Todd Williams' fault. Like, what was he thinking? He directed Paranormal Activity 4, which I didn't even like that movie, okay? This is probably like his third or second movie, and I don't think he can get any better. But guys, don't watch this movie. Thank God I watched it for free, and I'm happy that it didn't even release. I don't even know how many, but if it wasn't released in a lot of theaters, then it obviously flopped. Guys, this is probably the worst movie of the year by far. I'm not sure yet. But guys, I'm giving this movie a 0 out of 5. It was awful. Like, awful. I was looking because through this thing that my dad got, I was trying to look for that movie 9 Lives, because all of my friends hate that movie, okay? A lot of them. Because I really wanted to see how bad it was for myself. I did not. see it in theaters. I did not want to waste on my money on that like I wasted my money on the North End Ice Age Collision Course. But guys, don't watch this movie. Like, don't. It's out on Blu-ray. Don't waste your $20 on this movie. If you want to buy something on Blu-ray that came out last week, buy The Shallows. Spend that $20 on The Shallows. Get that on Blu-ray, not Cell. This movie should be called Hell, because that movie made me feel like I was in hell. But that is it, guys. I'll see you guys later. I really gotta review Deepwater Horizon after this, because I've already reviewed Miss Peregrine, so I should review Deepwater Horizon. So that is it for this video. Word out.